There's a trap that most driven people fall into. The more they want to succeed, the harder they push. The harder they push, the more exhausted they become. The more exhausted they become, the more they rush because they're afraid of falling behind. And so they keep running, faster and faster, until one day they realize they've been running in the wrong direction the entire time. There's a concept in Japanese culture called Yutori. It doesn't have a perfect English translation. It means something like spaciousness, a kind of unhurried presence. Room to breathe, time to think. The feeling of not being constantly behind. Most people in the modern world have never experienced Yutori. We have been taught that busyness equals productivity, that speed equals progress, that slowing down is a sign of weakness or worse, laziness. But here's what the most accomplished people in Japan have known for centuries. Yutori is not a luxury, it is a strategy. The tea master who prepares a single bowl of tea with complete presence. The sushi craftsman who spends a decade learning to cook rice before touching a knife. The calligrapher who practices one stroke 10,000 times. These are not people who have given up on results. They are people who discovered something counterintuitive. The deeper your commitment to the process, the faster and more permanently the results come. Let's start with something we've all felt. You have too much to do and not enough time, so you start moving faster. You skip breaks. You multitask. You eat lunch at your desk. You rush from one task to the next before the previous one is finished. And at the end of the day, what do you have? Usually a list of things half done, a mind that feels like static, and a quiet sense that you're not actually getting anywhere, despite having been busy every moment of the day. This is what researchers call the busyness trap. When we feel overwhelmed, our instinct is to speed up. But speeding up when you're overwhelmed rarely solves the problem. It compounds the exact conditions that created the overwhelm in the first place. Think about it this way. Imagine you're driving in dense fog. You can't see more than a few meters ahead. What do? Every sensible driver slows down, because going faster in fog doesn't get you to your destination faster. It gets you off the road. Modern life is fog. There is more information, more options, more competing demands than any human brain was designed to handle at once. And yet our almost universal response is to accelerate, to add more, to push harder, to fill every silence with another task. The Japanese concept of Yutori offers a different answer. The word Yutori comes from a feeling of having room, not just physical space, but mental and temporal room. The Japanese use it to describe a life with enough margin to think clearly, act deliberately, and be fully present. A life where the gap between stimulus and response is wide, enough for wisdom to enter. This spaciousness is not accidental. It is created, deliberately. Consider the Japanese tea ceremony, chado, the way of tea. A full ceremony can last 4 hours. Every movement is prescribed. Every gesture is intentional. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is skipped. From the outside, it can seem excessive. Why dedicate 4 hours to a single cup of tea? But that is the wrong question. The tea ceremony is not about the tea. It is about training the mind to be present, fully, completely, without distraction or hurry. The practitioner is learning how to bring that same unhurried presence to everything else they do. And when you bring that quality of attention to your work and your decisions, the results are fundamentally different. There is an old Japanese saying, if you are in a hurry, take the long way around. It sounds paradoxical, but it is deeply practical. When you are in a hurry, you make mistakes. You cut corners that later collapse. You make decisions from anxiety rather than clarity. You build things that need to be rebuilt. And then you spend weeks, sometimes years, fixing what went wrong in your haste. The person who takes the long way, who slows down enough to see clearly and act with precision, often arrives first. And what they have built tends to last. This isn't just ancient philosophy. Modern science agrees with what Japan figured out long ago. When your brain is under pressure, when you're rushing, anxious, overwhelmed, it shifts into what researchers call reactive mode. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for creativity, judgment, and long-term thinking, becomes less active. The amygdala, responsible for threat detection and survival, takes over. In reactive mode, you are fast, but you are not truly intelligent. You respond rather than think. You react rather than create. And this is the great irony of the busyness trap. The faster you try to go, the less of your actual intelligence you can access. Research on decision-making consistently shows that people under time pressure make significantly worse decisions. They miss obvious solutions. They choose short-term relief over long-term gain. They see threats where there are opportunities. Yutori building space into your life does the opposite. When you have enough room to pause, your brain shifts into what neuroscientists call the default mode network. This is where insight, creativity, and pattern recognition happen, where the best ideas emerge not in the middle of frantic activity, but in the quiet gaps between it. Newton under the apple tree, Einstein imagining riding alongside a beam of light, Archimedes in the bath. They were not racing to finish. They were resting. And in resting, they saw what everyone else had missed. So how do you actually build Yutori? Into a life that already feels too full to slow down? The first practice is to stop treating your margins as waste. Most people try to be 100% productive, 100% of the time. Every minute should be filled. Every gap should be closed. But margins, the space between things, are not waste. They are where genuine thinking happens. They are where recovery happens. They are where your next good idea is quietly waiting. Try this the next time you finish a task. Don't immediately begin the next one. Sit for 2 or 3 minutes. Let your mind wander. This is not indulgence. This is maintenance, the cognitive equivalent of letting a field rest between harvests, so it can be fertile again. The second practice is to do one thing at a time. Multitasking feels efficient, but research is unambiguous. Multitasking makes you slower, not faster. Every time you switch between tasks, your brain requires time to reorient, what cognitive scientists call switching cost. A quick glance at your phone in the middle of focused work can cost up to 20 minutes of refocused attention. Yutori practice means giving each task your complete, unhurried attention, not monitoring your phone, not already thinking about what comes next. Just this, just now. The third practice is to create daily stillness. In Japan, traditional practices, the tea ceremony, calligraphy, akebana, are not just about the activity itself. They create a structured moment of stillness in the day, a time when the mind is invited to slow down and simply be present. You don't need to learn calligraphy, but you do need something. A walk without headphones, a meal eaten without a screen, 5 minutes of sitting quietly before your workday begins. These are not luxuries. They are investments because when the mind has regular access to stillness, it works differently, more clearly, more wisely, more creatively. But there is something even deeper in the concept of Yutori that is worth sitting with. In Japanese culture, there is a fundamental understanding that the quality of the process determines the quality of the result, that how you do something is not separate from what you produce. The sushi master doesn't rush the rice because the rice is not separate from the meal. It is the meal's foundation. The tea ceremony host doesn't hurry the preparation because the preparation is not a delay before the experience, it is the experience. The process is the product. The journey is the destination. We have been taught to think of our lives as a series of destinations. I'll be happy when I finish this project. I'll rest when I get the promotion. I'll slow down when things calm down. But things never calm down on their own. The projects multiply. The promotions reveal new pressures. And the destination never quite satisfies the way we imagined. Yutori asks a different question, what? If the quality of your days is already the quality of your life, not the results, not the achievements, the days themselves, the presence you bring to breakfast, to conversation, to the work in front of you right now. This is not a soft idea. It is a radical one, because it means that slowing down is not something you do after you succeed. It is part of how you succeed. The world will always tell you to go faster. There will always be more to do, more urgency, manufactured to steal your attention. But the people who build things that last are rarely the most frantic. They are the most deliberate. They move at a pace that allows them to see clearly, decide wisely, and act with precision. They have Yutori not because they have less to do, but because they have learned something the rushing world has forgotten. Speed is not the same as progress. Busyness is not the same as purpose. And sometimes, the quietest breath you take today will be the most productive thing you do all week. If this gave you something worth keeping, follow for more. Each week, we explore one idea from Japanese philosophy that might just change how you see the world.